Thank you very much. She's not available. We now move to Honorable Ramulifo.
Thank you, Chair of Chairs, honorable members. We need a budget for the future, a budget that will shape the future of all our learners in Gauteng, especially those from disadvantaged communities. The lockdown as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us to find ways to do things differently. Unfortunately, this budget is not responding to learner-educator ratio problems. It is deeply concerning that we still have learners who attend school twice a week. This is common amongst quintile 1 to 4 schools, which are poorly resourced. Allen Ridge Secondary Schools in Rapid Ridge is facing the same problem. Fine Town Secondary School had to shut down for a week to draw attention to the fact that parents want their children to attend schools full-time in a conducive learning environment. But thank you, MEC, for hitting the call last week, and you delivered furniture at Fine Town Secondary School. But this can't only be limited to us communicating with you. This is the responsibility which district needs to take. Siabusa Secondary Schools in Slovoaville has severely overcrowded classrooms, and they are still using a rotational learning system. I visited the school yesterday, and the rotational learning system must urgently come to an end. I hope you will also assist and intervene and provide furniture this week so that at least the school can get to normality. We were told that there are about 38 schools that are continuing with the rotational learning system. Will these learners be exempted from competing with other learners? The answer is no. So why are we trapping them in poverty? Because this budget doesn't talk about their future. It was very easy to blow 450 million within 3 months on the decontamination of schools, and the service providers were paid on time. Why is there no agency to end the rotational learning system and ensure that all learners return to school on a full-time basis? This will result in many of our learners across the province dropping out of school. MEC Lesuf, why are we trapping these learners into poverty? We all know that the rotational learning system is deeply affecting learners from poor families who are sending their children to no-fee schools. This current setup is perpetuating poverty and inequality in our province. These young people who are deprived of everyday schooling have ambitions and are looking upon us to save them. They are dreaming of a better future where they don't need to rely on EPWP opportunities. However, they will end up in these programs which will pull them away from becoming part of the pool of experts and pull them away from the entrepreneurial space. We all know that this government is so happy that the list of social grant beneficiaries is growing. Surely this can't be right, especially for an active population. All young people must be given access to job opportunities. They must be given opportunities to advance their careers. They must be given support to start their own small businesses. They must be empowered with skills to grow our economy. Certainly, this government has no idea on what to do to revive the economy. If this province fails to take the lead, the country will go down too. Let's look at different programs. Program 1, which is administration. There is 5 billion rand allocation. This is 10.2% increase compared to the last year budget, and it includes the rental of offices. Why don't we allow district officials to spend time in schools, which is the primary focus? There's no need to increase this budget by 10.2%. The targets have been reduced, but the budget has increased as indicated on page 241 of the budget book as compared with the last year's service delivery measures. Program 2, Public Ordinary School Education. There is 42.3 billion budget for this program. This is a 9.1% increase. The DA support this increase, especially the compensation of employees, which saw an increase of 8.2%. Considering the passion and commitment shown by our teachers, they are trying their best under difficult circumstances. They've been navigating through tough economic times. Fuel prices have been increasing, repo rates have been increasing, unreliable electricity has gone up, and municipal bills are always increasing. The DA does support subsidies to no-fee paying schools. We support school nutrition programs, but we don't support awarding 1.5 billion to only 26 service providers. Considering the high unemployment rate and the lack of economic growth, this 1.5 billion must benefit more than 500 service providers who will create more job opportunities and create more businesses for more service providers. The same goes for scholar transport with 988.8 million allocation. The DA believes that the department must create opportunities for more people to enter the space. We have noticed the current challenge by service providers alleging that the process was unfair. Unfortunately, this has caused problems for our learners as they miss some days of schooling because of the scholar transport strike. The Citibank schools were badly affected by this scholar transport strike. The DA is urging the department to increase the target for learners achieving more than 60% in maths and science. More so, that there is a target to embark on a robust teacher development program. Equally, the target of bachelor passes must be more than 50%. This will indicate a stable system and become a sustainable base. The department must start investing in facilities and equipment for different sporting codes. We cannot afford to postpone the current need to diversify sporting codes in Gauteng. I wish this province could avoid spending 24 million rand to demolish a stadium and use this budget to build or improve more sporting facilities in our schools. No, Kerry, the province. This will advance social cohesion and natural talents amongst young people. Instead of spending money on a flag, we must get our priorities right. Program 3, independent schools. This program's budget is program's budget is 1 billion and there's an increase of 4.7%. The DA support this allocation as independent schools play an important role, especially where government is failing to build more schools. They minimize admission pressure and offer some relief to migration problems. However, the existence of illegal independent schools in Gauteng is a huge concern. The department has not acted decisively to protect learners and parents from unregistered schools. The DA is also concerned with administrators who get paid 495,000 rand every month to monitor schools on how to spend their budgets. We propose that each school which fails to account must be referred to the Matthew Goniwe Leadership Program. There must be mentorship programs offered to schools which have no capacity. Program 4, Public Special School. The budget allocation is 4.9 billion, which is an increase of 8.2%. There is a need to get more public schools to accommodate learners with special needs. All these schools must be well-resourced. Philadelphia, as Member Mkwe also mentioned, has been on news for the wrong reasons. We urge the department to make necessary intervention to ensure that the school has the proper leadership to fly the school flag high. Unfortunately, Noktula Elsen School is still not fully occupied. I'm not sure if the acting MEC Mama Wulo, who is here, has honored his commitment to resolve this problem, as he said in this house.
He created the problem in the first place.
Imagine spending more than 300 million rand and the school cannot fully occupy, even though the Premier had cut the ribbon in 2018. Yet, there's no consequence management. Only 40 million rand is allocated for infrastructure in public special schools, but there are no plans to build any new school this year. Looking at Program 5, Early Childhood Development, this program has a history of under-expenditure. The budget allocated is 1.9 billion, which is an increase of 8.3%. All children in grade R and pre-grade R must never be denied access due to lack of funding. ECDs must not only be caring centers, but learning institutions which prepare children to start formal schooling. This will demand rethinking about professionalizing practitioners and their working environment. There were many incidents of abuse and uncaring behavior reported in certain centers. This must be attended to urgently. It is good that there is an alignment of all foundation phase institutions preparing for entry into grade 1. This must help learners to improve literacy and numeracy levels. Program 6, Infrastructure Development. The budget allocated to this program is 1.7 billion, and it is not adequate considering there is a high demand to fix aging, dilapidated, and broken school infrastructure. This includes replacing asbestos schools and mobile schools. We have noticed an increase in protests demanding more resources to ensure that learning and teaching take place in a conducive environment. The department should cut the administration budget and allocate more to infrastructure. The MEC will no doubt leave office before eradicating all structures built of inappropriate materials. The department must leave its abusive relationship with DID, as there are so many outstanding issues with projects under DID. For example, Maibuye Primary School and Bramfisher Primary Schools, to name a few. These issues range from lack of approved plans, no occupational certificate, none of payments up to subcontractors, appointment of unqualified service providers, and only allocating projects to friends and comrades. Program 7, Examination and Education-Related Services. The budget allocation has increased from 1.7 billion to 2.7 billion rand. This is an increase of more than 60%. Examination budget allocation is necessary as it is about fourth industrial revolution. We must seek to foster a more balanced working relationship between increasingly smart technologies and humans. COVID-19 caught us on the back foot, hence we must align the budget to the future. Can we deploy technologies to enhance learning and teaching? Can we prevent bullying? Can we prevent violence? In short, we need an effective school safety strategy. Equally, all schools must comply with occupational and health standards. In conclusion, Madam Chair, we have a responsibility to provide access to basic quality education. We must strive to ensure that all schools have quality leadership and management. There must be no learner who sits at home due to lack of space or lack of furniture when there's budget. We must do our best to guarantee parental choice, and online admission must not take away such a choice. We must champion schools of specializations. Let's not celebrate mediocrity. Let's think about the future. South Africa must be a better place to live and work. Gauteng province must brim with opportunities through education, which plays a vital role in improving quality of life. The DA is appealing to all education stakeholders to put our learners on top of the agenda. Learning and teaching must be our priority. Let's plan for the future of our children. This budget must be about building strong communities and empowering young people with much needed skills. Even when SGB disagree with the department, they must not shut down schools. They must not disrupt learning. So as I've said, MEC Lissofi, you said yes, your department is not demolishing a stadium spending 24 million, but your cabinet, as you are part of the cabinet, you are spending 24 million rand to demolish HMPJ Stadium. Why can't you channel that money and start looking at facilities in our schools so that we'll be able to nurture talent, which is all there? So I don't understand why the provincial government can spend such amount of money to do that when there's a need on the other side. Thank you very much.